The Freedom Ride allowed me to become friends with some people who are my own age but live in a completely different reality due to being undocumented in our country. And they went on the Freedom Ride with me. And the event that really opened my eyes happened right after we were standing as a group outside of a detention center in downtown Atlanta. And we were a large enough group that we drew attention from a local police officer who was asking what we were doing, and he seemed to be pretty hard about his questions. And so when we walked away, I noticed that one of my peers that was on the ride was wearing a shirt that said "Undocumented and Unafraid." And so I asked him how he felt when that police officer came up and was talking to us, if he was nervous at all, because Atlanta is really bad about arresting a lot of people and deporting a lot of immigrants who are undocumented. And so he said that he wasn't afraid because we were in a group. And I asked how he felt when he was walking around downtown Atlanta, if he were by himself. He's an activist there, and he said that sometimes he does feel nervous and sometimes he even feels afraid. And that was a big moment for me where I realized a totally different reality that my friends and neighbors here are living with, having to be in fear of the very people who are supposed to keep them safe. And so since then, I have been learning a ton about immigration, trying to understand what is going on, what's happening with families here in our city and in our country. And the most startling thing that I've learned is that there are over 5,000 children who are in the foster care system because their parents have been deported. And so I've connected with local activists here with the NC Dream Team and have tried to join their efforts to advocate for individual families to keep families together. I think my hope is that our country will stop deporting people and tearing families apart. My hope is that it'll become easier to be a U.S. citizen without so many loopholes and without it being so expensive. And my hope is that the church will wake up and that the church will get involved. It's possible for the church to play the middle role between children being put in foster care, and that way children could actually be reunited with their families. Just a way that we can respond as Christians, as the church. This social gap just needs to be bridged. If people become friends with people the news talks about, they realize that they are exactly like them. The assumption is that they're bad and that they're evil, but that's just not the case at all. They are funny, they're witty, they're so smart and intelligent. They're just like anyone else. And so I feel like if people can just become friends, then they would realize that we aren't as different as we think we are.